Hey, so
Do the intro.
hey guys, my name is Adrian.
What's up, guys? We're back with another. Actually, we're not back. We're here.
So today
episode.
we're gonna be speaking true crime
We have to do this.
while eating McDonald's. So
But we're gonna keep the recording though. The recording will not be getting.
because we're not doing just audio. So we're gonna be talking about this book, Stolen Life, by J.C. Dugard. So basically,
Tell us about the book, Miss Borders.
So we've only read some of the chapters, part one of our book. So this book is about a girl who got kidnapped,
Taken. Stolen.
by a couple, and was forced to live in the shed for.
She was only 11 years old.
Yeah.
Y'all. 11.
For-
1-1.
For years.
How
Basically,
long was it? 18 years?
Until she was 18. So like 7 years.
I think it was. We're gonna have to double back and quote on it.
For 18 years, you're right.
For
you're
18
right.
years, yeah.
Not so she
See,
was
I do the knowledge.
But it's okay because we haven't finished the book. So my comments on that,
Hold on now.
everything happened so fast.
Well, hold on now.
Okay.
Tell us about in Miss Dugard's book. Tell us about what you've read so far.
So what I've read
How many chapters have we read up to? 2 or 3? About 3?
like 3.
Okay.
So what's happened so far? Everything happened like fast. So
Immediate.
she was telling us about her stepdad Carl, who
Like,
who she
bro,
was
chill out, bro.
was not
There's
feeling
no
her.
correlation.
But not feeling him, but you know what I'm saying? How
He's mean.
She doesn't like him. So she usually walks to school by herself because she doesn't like to get rides.
No, this is her first year doing that. She usually gets a ride. Her stepdad
Did not want
walk
her to
to
do
the
it.
bus.
Okay. So this situation, she was walking up the hill. Bro, like, why are you doing this to me?
No,
She was walking up
because
the hill.
Carl really be tripping. Like, something is wrong with him.
So she was walking up the hill, and I think this was like the first or second chapter.
Second.
Okay. The chapters don't have numbers; they're just titles. Okay. So the guy,
I don't want to eat on
there's a
camera.
couple that comes and basically sees her.
Hold on.
and
Let me set the scenery. No offense on you. I don't mean to pause you
Go
like
ahead,
that.
it's my grade,
I
go
don't mean to
ahead.
pause you like that. It's my grade too. So, she walking, right? She walking. All of a sudden, you know, it's not out the ordinary to hear cars and see cars drive by you in the morning. You know, people gotta go to work, people gotta
she
go
was
to
getting catcalled by a group of teens or
She
some
was.
men.
I think they were older kids.
So teens.
So all of a sudden she hear a car, but the car come to a halt next to her. It don't drive by. So she turned her head to look. As she looked, dude is reaching his hand out the window and tased her.
And towards the beginning, she was like,
He tased her.
yeah.
Towards the beginning, what happened?
Towards the beginning, she was telling us how, you know, the woman, well, she didn't, she was sure it was a woman, but we didn't really see her till like later, you know, like she was letting her husband like do what he wanted to do first, and then she came in later, you know what I'm saying? Odd. So she was like, what the hell is going on? Tripping out. She gets there and right away, get in the shower.
Whoa,
okay.
like,
And he was like, here, touch it, make it grow. Like, and then, and then he was like, oh yeah, now I gotta shave you.
ew.
And it was freaky. And then he was like using his dog as like a threat against her and all that. And
Put her in the shed.
everything is just happening so fast. And I just know it's gonna get worse as the book goes on.
It's terrible.
It's really bad. I want to know why the wife is letting her husband do this. Like, what?
Because both of them is weird.
But I want to hear it from her. Hopefully they speak about it later in the book. Like, if they get to, like, the detective side of it. You know what I'm saying?
Like, that's disgusting.
It's weird. But, yeah, it's really... We read a article about another guy.
You talking about Ariel?
Ariel Castro.
Ariel's a freaky fuck, too.
Bro.
Yeah.
First of all, he was a trusted family friend.
See, these family friends,
they're always the problem.
This is why we keep the family circle tight knit, small. Family friend.
You need adult supervision in your life. So basically, he's kidnapped 3 girls and just was like collecting them different times.
Collecting them, violating them, like just nasty. And then, as you're doing it, he's the one who was showing up at the search parties, right? I'm pretty sure that was him. So imagine this. You in a basement. Your family is looking for you. They hold manhunt search parties. And the dude who took you is showing up to the events. Dang, y'all, we gotta find her. This ain't right, man. Bring her home.
And you can imagine they was leading him the wrong, or he was leading them the wrong way, probably.
Right.
Opposite direction. I can't tell if I'm thinking of. Was it in this story that there was a friend who got arrested for like leading him the wrong way? Or like messing with evidence or something?
I don't know.
Something happened, but why when he got arrested for all of that? He
It's
was
kind of
like
blending a little bit because we just watched some other shit about a family friend. That shit was insane. Y'all gonna hear about that on the next episode. Y'all gotta hold off. We can't even really talk about that too much right now.
But no, when he was in trouble, he was low-key blaming it on them. He was like, oh no, he was like, oh, I got a porn addiction. Okay. He was like, yeah, I got a porn addiction, so this is why I am how I am, and basically, and then he was like, oh, they were low-key enjoying it, and blah, blah, blah. Or he was like, they were willing to do it, or something like that. And it was like, wait, what do you mean by that? It was just, the whole story was just like, wow.
We just read about the nastiest shit. But like, you know, it's better than like Great Gatsby.
The documentary wasn't nasty though. That's a good transition. The documentary wasn't nasty. Honestly, his life was a movie, to be honest. He was living it up.
Randy
Lanier.
Randy was getting it.
And he was going crazy on the like. Okay, he was doing bad stuff to get money for racing, but at least he was good at racing. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I think what Obama did, releasing him after, was right. We could always count on Obama.
I mean,
I did feel bad for the wife when
Barry got some. I like Barry too. Keep it pushing now.
That was the Rolex guy?
No, Barry is in Obama.
Oh. What's the Rolex guy called?
The Rolex guy.
His friend, Charles.
Oh, the white dude.
Yeah.
Blue suit. The snitch. Yeah.
I'm glad that the other friend called him out for that too. But I think it was right for the mom to snitch because she was about to get her kids taken away.
I mean,
she went to rehab, came back and was like, this is actually wrong. We're about to get our kids taken away. So she tried to fix him, but he was like...
But what would they have taken the kids for? They didn't really have no charges on her.
They're drug addicts. She had
got out of rehab. She was clean.
She got into rehab because they were threatening to take the kids.
I thought that was after that. I thought she told when he was on the run. She went to rehab. Okay, hold on. Because this is how I remember it. Remember, he was on the road for a long time.
He was on the run.
He come back and he said, no. Before that, he was racing a lot.
Oh.
And he went at home. and he come home and he said the house smelled like somebody was smoking crack. Remember that? You remember that?
Yeah.
His wife was in there smoking crack. So he sent her to rehab that night, and she got clean in like a month.
The husband didn't send her to rehab.
Well, it said he said she went to rehab the next day.
Okay. Well, they were about to lose their kids, so she had to snitch. Hey, I don't know what I know. Miss Anderson can confirm. But
low key,
he was successful a little too fast. Like,
I mean, she could snitch and tell like, okay, the business side, but she didn't have to tell him where that money was at on the dad's property. She didn't have to tell him that much.
She also said,
like, she told everything and some. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? What's the time?
She also said he left her money for the family for the rest of their life. And then I'm looking at the house she's in now, currently, and the house he's in. And he's in a white mansion.
They're together, aren't they?
They divorced.
That's the same house.
They said, no, they divorced. And later on, after, they were like, oh, we're still thinking about getting back together. But we don't know. They're probably still dating. Or I think they're going to remarry.
No, they're married.
They divorced. Bruh.
Literally at the end, she said, yeah.
She said, we're still flirting.
And he proposed to me in the
and she said she'll think about it.
Right.
She'll
so
think
they're
about
engaged.
She'll think about it doesn't mean yes. No, they're not together. They're interviewing in two separate houses. I'm just saying, how do you go to jail and you give your wife all that money?
And she tells them where it's at.
And she's living in a house that, like, you know what I'm saying? She had to raise the kids by herself. And he's in a mansion and she's in just the house is good. I'm just saying, why is he in a mansion? All that money given. I feel like we're missing some key points, so I'm gonna pull up the questions before my comment dies. What led to his involvement in drug trafficking? We already said that, kind of.
He was trying to race.
Well, to begin, he got money. He was getting paid $1.65 an hour when he was working for the construction site, because his dad was like, oh yeah, you're smoking too much, you need to get a job. So he worked at a construction site and he just had that good on him, and his workers were like, or his coworkers were like, hey, I'll give you this.
Smoke.
Right. You got any on you? And he was getting money off of that. So by 17, he was making like 10K.
He was jigging them too. He was, yeah. And then all of a sudden, $35 million load,
right.
$50 million load. Then they caught him.
I feel like the guys that died on the ship.
Whoa.
I feel like he was trying to like not talk about that for a reason. Like he was low-key guilty.
Didn't you say something? Was it you who said that you don't believe the story about them blowing up? You think they were trying to steal and got caught? Or was it somebody else who said that?
Somebody else.
Somebody said they had a theory that, so you know how they were like, oh, they were welding the thing and it blew up and they died? They were like, nah, I think somebody knew about the barge and was trying to get in there and get some of the load, and they had to handle them real quick. That's why I don't want to talk about it.
That would be that would be a crazy reason. I mean, Randy and who else though?
I don't know, but
William?
do you think that back up? Guys, we might have to come back and with the rest of this episode because we do have to get on the bus.
No, we're just here right now.
But we gonna merge. I mean,
it's 15 minutes.
Okay. Did we talk about
We're not
everything?
doing part 2.
How would John Douglas discuss Randy Lanier? I don't think he would would he even discuss him as a criminal? Because he didn't hurt nobody.
I mean, he would say he's a criminal, but...
He would say he's a criminal, but...
I dealt with things harder than this.
He's interviewing Kemper, Manson, like real lunatics, bro. He's not worried about...
The most he'd have to say about him is about the 2 guys and shit. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, guys, we're gonna see you next week.
Make sure to subscribe.
Like, subscribe, comment, share. What's a hooray?
What's our outro?
What's a hooray though? A hooray for the end of the episode. Something good.
Oh. We're getting married. See you on the next one.
I'm gonna kill.